Okay, here we go. Let's start learning how to get these Korean verbs conjugated, changed into forms that we can use when we speak. And yeah, so if you're not too familiar with words in other languages, there's often going to be some sort of base form or a dictionary form. And in Korean, for verbs and also for adjectives, they have a base form. Now, with this, we need to change this verb from this base form to show that the subject, the person who is kind of the main character of a sentence, so it can be a person or a thing. So a car can do an action even if it's not a person. A car can move, a car can drive. So the action is the verb, right? And they can be abstract actions like thinking. They can be actually moving your body or doing something like dancing. Now, these are just very simple ways of changing things. We have what we call the present tense. The present tense is when you change verb, the verb into a form that shows the person who is reading the words or who is listening to the words. It tells them some information about what's happening. Now, it tells you that the subject of the sentence does something related to the present. In English, the present tense is used for things a little bit differently than in Korean. So here, briefly, I will explain some of the uses of present tense in Korean. So in Korean, the present tense can talk about when a subject does something often or as a habit. So if, like in English, you say, I eat breakfast, you are using the present tense in English, and I eat breakfast is indicating that you do it regularly, you do it as a habit, maybe not every day, but again, it's a regular thing. And this is the same for Korean. If you use the present tense, you can indicate that you do something regularly. The Korean present tense is also used for telling when someone is doing something now. So I said does something because I use the English present tense for the English word, but the feeling actually is doing something. So in English, you would say is doing. Someone is doing something right now. So Korean present tense, you can use this to say is doing something right now. Past tense, when the subject of the sentence did something. So it's something in the past. So I ate, I walked, I ran, I flew, I thought. So that's the past tense. And we won't be doing any practicing of the future tense, but just as another example, in English, we say a subject or someone will do. This is the future tense, will do something. So there are other variations of future tense in English that have slightly different meanings, like going to. So I'm going to eat that food means I will eat that food, but it has a little bit of extra meaning in it. The most basic, simple way of saying future tense in English is I will eat that food. I will do that. I'm going to do that. So now let's get into drilling these concepts of the base form that we have up here, taking this base form and changing it into the present tense to help the person who's listening to us use a word while we speak, or who is reading a word that we've written. It will, when we change it from the base form to this present tense, it will help the person understand that something happens regularly or something is happening now. And we will also practice the past tense, showing the person who is listening or reading that the subject did something in the past. Okay, let's see what we can do. We're going to move. So to go is kara. This is the base form, but we don't say that normally. We don't use it to write, so we eliminate this da. And we look at the first vowel, and is it an O or is it an A? Yes, so then we add the A. So we have ka plus A, but in this case, this just combines down to one. So this becomes ka. And then for present tense, that's all we need. And we add yo for politeness. So our present tense, we've got our present tense of, oh, sorry, that's past tense. Present tense, let's go. Kayo. So if you want to say, I kayo to the store. I go to the store, which means I frequently go to the store. I habitually go to the store. Or my friend kayo to Korea University. She goes to Korea University regularly. Okay? Now for the past tense, we take this form here and let's get our green. So we have our past tense, which is usually this, right? We have the double shiot on the bottom plus o. This is always going to be our o. And then yo for politeness. So what do we need from the original? We just need our original conjugated form, ka. So our past tense is 갔어요. So yesterday I 갔어요 to the store. Yesterday I went to the store. Okay. Yesterday I 갔어요 to the store. Now the order, of course, is not correct. Korean order means the 갔어요 will be at the very end, but I'm kind of throwing that in there to an English sentence to kind of give you a little bit of a feel. Okay, to come. Let's do present tense. So present tense, as always, from the base form, the dictionary form. We can't use that when we speak, so we get rid of the da. And then we look at this vowel. What's the vowel? Is it an O or an A? And yes, so we will add our A. And kind of like kada, so we have our base form of O, and then we add our A, but it's a little bit special, so we can just combine it down to wa, and then we add the yo for politeness. So our nice little present tense is going to be wayo. And so we can say 언제 와요? When do you 와요? When do you come? 언제 와요? And this is actually another meaning of present tense. You can use it to kind of indicate the future. You can use the future tense, but you can also use present tense and say, when do you come? When 언제 와요 can be an asking what time do you usually come, but also depending on the situation, it can be meaning, when will you come? Okay, so we take our conjugated form, and now we're going to make our future tense, or sorry, past tense. So let's first get back to our wa. So here's our conjugated form, and then to do our past from this, we just add in our past 쌍시옷, the two 시옷, and then even though this is an a past tense, when we're adding on the extra past tense part, the extra past tense part is always o. So this o doesn't have anything to do with this or this. It's always going to be the, hang on, let's clean that up a little bit. It's always going to be the 쌍시옷 plus the o. That will be our past tense. And then for formality, for politeness, we add the yo. So this is our past tense. So when did you 왔어요? Oh, I 왔어요 yesterday. So when did you come? Oh, I came here yesterday. 언제 왔어요? When did you come? And let's go to our next one. Cool. We're back at 먹다. So 먹다. Now, the thing is, there are going to be some slight variations with some irregularities. That happens in every language. This is still on the regular side, but it's a little bit different than the other ones because we have this 받침. So we have to consider that as well. But we get rid of our da. So now we have our 먹, and we look at the vowel here. What is our vowel? It is not an O and not an A. No. So we add O with that. So we have our 먹 plus O. This will give us our basic conjugated form, 먹어. And then we add on politeness to give us our present tense. Let's get our present tense. Oops. There we go. Present tense is 먹어요. Nice. So we got our present tense. Here is our conjugated form. And now we're going to use that to do our past tense. So let's go get our past tense. So we have our 먹어. 먹어. So with this, 먹어 means eat in low form. Eat, or I usually eat, something like that. So now we want to change it to the past tense. We just add a little bit of extra. Our 쌍시옷, the two 시옷, plus the 어 and 요 for politeness. So, what did you 먹었어요? So, 뭘 먹었어요? What did you 먹었어요? What did you 먹었어요? What did you eat? What did you 먹었어요? Yep, so here's our past tense part here with the added formality. Sorry. Let's be a little bit more clear. This is our past tense part, and then our formality. We got our formality on the end. Okay, so that's past tense. 먹었어요. Drink. Here we go. So to drink, here we have the da, goodbye da, and now we have this e. So is that an o or is that an a? No. So we add o. Okay. Now I do that one from bottom to top. Don't worry about it. So we have ma, she, plus o. And when you do this, just because of the way the sounds change, this is actually written according to the sound change. So this one you will write in this way. It is 마시오. So it just becomes 마셔. 마셔. If you write 마시오요, that's okay too. But the shorter version, like in English, we can write cannot, or we can write can't. Kind of the same thing here. You can write cannot or can't, 마시오 or 마셔. Same thing essentially. Now, this plus formality. Yo. So our present tense, what do we got for our present tense? Drink. If I want to tell my friend, maybe not a friend, maybe someone who, maybe someone I know who's, I want to be a little bit polite to, 마셔요. So drink this. Or I drink water. I 물을 마셔요. I 물 마셔요. I drink water regularly. Or the doctor might ask you, 물 마셔요? Do you drink water? Or, better yet, asking about, a potential problem. 술 자주 마셔요? Alcohol often 마셔요? So that's your present tense. Again, habitual, or what you're doing right now. And then what do? We take our conjugated form, and then we are going to be doing our past tense. Here we go. So we have 마셔. And then for past tense, what do? Okay, so for our past tense, we just again add that sang 시옷, the two 시옷, and 어 for our past tense, and then yo for formality. So remember our past tense is here. So 마셨어요. 마셨어요. So yesterday, what did you 마셨어요? Yesterday, what did you drink? Like, yesterday I 마셨어요 some poison. That's why I'm not feeling so good. Yeah, don't do that, of course. So 마셨어요 is the past tense. I drank. And there we go. Now 보다, to see, to look. Now we kick off that da. And what is the vowel? The vowel, is it an o or an a? Yes, it is. So we want to add a. And this is like to come. So when you have bo plus a, it can become our bois instead of bo a. You can write bo a, but generally people make it the shortened version of bois. And then for formality, we add our yo, and then we get our nice little, present tense, 봐요. 이봐요. Take a look at this. Actually, it's like, hey, you look here. 이봐요. So, 뭘 봐요? What 봐요? 뭘 봐요? What 봐요? What are you looking at? What you look at? 뭘 봐요? And then also in Korean, of course, you can say, when will we see each other? So again, here, kind of you can use the present tense to talk about future stuff. So, us 언제 봐요? 우리 언제 봐요? When will we see each other? 우리 언제 봐요? We 언제 봐요? Us 언제 봐요? My English, the us and we is getting mixed up. Let's not worry about that too much though. Okay, so we take the conjugated form to go to our past tense. Let's go. So we got bois, bois, and then for our past tense, what do we need? Yeah, you're right. We need the bottom 상시옷, the two 시옷, and then we need our o, and then for formality, we need our yo. Remember our past tense here, and then formality. Okay, so 봤어요. Hey, this movie, 봤어요? Did you see this movie? This movie 봤어요? 이 영화 봤어요? Yes, I 봤어요 that movie just yesterday. So I just saw that movie yesterday. Okay, let's do listen. Here we go. Let's say goodbye to our da from that base form. Can't use that base form when we're talking normally. And then here, right in the middle, sandwiched in there, is our vowel. Is it an O or is it an A? No, it isn't. So we add an O. Now this has a slight irregular to it. This bottom digat will change. We'll see that. So first, let's look at it if it were regular. So we have t plus O. So it should be, technically, should be 뜨도. 뜨도, and then for formality, yo, 뜨도요. But this is irregular, so we don't have this. Let's see what happens for the irregularity. The sound is almost the same, actually, but there's a slight variation. So when we add that o on, that bottom digut changes. So we have 듣 and 를. So 들, 들어, 들어 plus 요. And this will give us our present tense, slightly irregular. 들어요. 들어요 to my words. Listen to my words. Yeah. I am 들어요. I am listening. And 잘 들어. Listen well. 잘 들어. Yeah, it's not 듣어. 잘 듣어요. 잘 들어요. That 리을 has a little bit of a flap, a little bit of a roll. So for the past, we take this conjugated form, throw it downstairs so we can do some conjugation work. So 들어. And what do we need on the bottom? You're right, those two 시옷, the 쌍 시옷. 쌍 just means couple or two. So 쌍 시옷 and 어. And then for formality, 요. There's our past tense. So my words 들었어요. Did you listen to my words? Did you hear what I said? Yeah. Hey, that new song 들었어요? Did you listen to that new song? So notice in English we say, did you listen at the beginning to that new song, Korean? That new song 들었어요? That new song 들었어요? You new song listen? You new song did listen? Yep. new song 들었어요? Right. Past tense. Let's go to our next one. 읽다. 읽다, 읽다. Oh yeah. We got those guys on the bottom making it seem all confusing and stuff. What are they doing down there? But we got to get rid of the da, of course. And then we look at our vowel. The vowel is not an o, not an a. So we add our o. Oops. Yeah, let me put an X here. So it's not one of those two. So we add an o. And these guys, we'll just see kind of what happens. Ikta. Ikta is the pronunciation in the base form, if I am not mistaken. And so we take our ik, and then we add our o. And what do we get? Pippity boppity boo. So the writing stays the same. Yeah, even with the other ones, I was just making the assumption that we understood that the sounds will jump up from here, jump into this spot, because this iung, when it's up top, it doesn't have any sound, and these guys from the bottom, they jump up and take that spot. For example, we had the 들어요, and what happens is we say, oh, okay, we got that iung right there. We're getting rid of you, buddy. And now we're going to move you into that position. Bum, bum, bum. This is how we say it. We don't write it this way, but this is the way we say it. So 들어 for our 들어. Okay, now let's get back to the verb at hand. Goodbye, guys. Okay, oops. And we want to get rid of that too. Okay. So we got our conjugated form, and we need to add on formality, and we got our present tense, right? So 읽어요. So especially when we're saying the whole thing, what happens with the pronunciation is this is saved, and then this guy goes here. So the sound becomes 읽어요. But the spelling remains the same as it is up here. So this is the spelling. The spelling remains the same when you're writing it, but when you say it, this is how you say it. That's why I'm putting it in these brackets, which you can find on the dictionary as well to help you understand how to pronounce things. And let's get rid of that stuff right there. And so 읽어요. Present tense. I 읽어요 books a lot. In Korean format, you'd say I books a lot 읽어요. I books a lot 읽어요. And do you books 읽어요? Do you read books? So you books 읽어요? You books 읽어요? And if you don't, then you'd say, oh, I books 안 읽어요. 안, which is no. 안 읽어요. Okay, let's get our buddy, the conjugated form of to read. And we're going to take it down and make ourselves some past tense. Hopefully my commentary is not aggravating, boring. Could be boring, but yeah. So, okay, past tense. We got our conjugated form, but now we need to add our 쌍시옷, the double 시옷. And then we got our 어 for past tense, and then formality, basic formality, our 요. So, hey, this book 읽었어요? You, this book 읽었어요? Did you read this book? You, this book 읽었어요? Or 언제 읽었어요? When did you read? This book 언제 읽었어요? When did you read this book? So we have did. Oh, 어제 읽었어요. Yesterday I read it. Aha, here we go. Now this is, I don't know if you would call this an irregular, but it's not as easy or standard as the other. There's a slight variation because we got, well, first, same thing. Get rid of the da. So to write. This can also mean to use. So you have to look at the context to understand what meaning this verb has in the sentence. But then so we look at the vowel. The vowel is it is not an o, not an a. Nope. So then what do? Here we go. We add our oh, cool, nice. But wait a second. So you'll see something funky going on. So let's take our base form, s plus o. Well, here this is also irregular because what happens is for the regular, it would become s o yo for I use. But this is actually that's not something we do. It's a slightly irregular situation. So what are we gonna do? It's not too bad. So the words that I learned when I was learning Korean back in the day, we say smash the slash. So this is the gut slash because the pronunciation's It's like someone slashes you in the gut. So we smash the slash. Goodbye slash. And then we add the o. So what is the result? So we have instead of s o, we just do so. Okay, cool. Not too crazy. Plus yo for formality. Get to our present tense. What do we got here? Soyo. So I use this at the gym when I'm asking, hey, this machine 써요? And they say, oh no, I right now 안 써요. I 지금 안 써요. I right now am not using it. I don't use it. So 안 써요. I don't use it right now. And oh yeah, and this also, so just to complicate things, it can also mean to be bitter. Oops, let's send that back up there. To be bitter. Conjugated in pretty much the same way. There are some slight differences because it's an adjective, but don't worry about that now. But 쓰다 can mean bitter, write, or use. Oh yeah, so for a letter, 편지, 편지. So you letter 써요. You write a letter, please. Not really very much please in there, but you 편지 써요. You letter write. Or when do you write letters? You 편지 언제 써요? You when 편지 써요? Like when do you write letters? So write or to use, that's what we got here. Okay. Now here is our conjugated form. Ba, ba, bang. Let's send it down for past tense. Cool. Past tense, you know the drill. We're going to drop some. Oh, we already got some 쌍시옷 here for this one. Just remember, sometimes, of course, 쌍시옷 does not indicate past tense. Right here, this is not necessarily past tense. But these ones on the bottom, in this case, they are past tense. So we have the so. So. Yeah, the pronunciation. Let's look at the pronunciation of this. Ooh. So in our brackets, we have so, but because this guy jumps up here, it becomes also so. Ooh, yo. That means I did write, I did use. It was bitter. So 썼어요, 썼어요. Hey, you this machine 썼어요? Hey, did you use this machine? And then, yeah, I this machine 썼어요. Yeah, I this machine used. Hey, you this letter 썼어요? Yeah, I this letter 썼어요. So, yep, that's our past tense there with 쓰다, 배우다. Oh, we got a lot more to do, but this is going a little long, which is not bad, but yeah, let's cut this short for the time being. I can make another video sometime later. Da, goodbye, da. And then let's take a look. Da, da, da. Ooh, is that an O? Is that an A? Nope. So we add our O. Okay. And this guy is not really irregular, but we can abbreviate it. We can shorten it. So let's first take our base form without the da. So we have 배우, 배우, a Hollywood 배우. That this by itself, just the sounds, means actor or actress. Then we add o. Okay, so 배우 o. We could do that again. It's okay. Not really common practice these days to write 배우 o. Not completely unacceptable, but the way that we do things these days, we're a little more modern, if that's what you want to say for it. 배우 o. We get rid of that iung. Don't need that iung right there. 배워 plus yo for formality. And here we go. On to the present tense. Oh yeah. What are you 배워요? What are you studying? What are you learning? What are you learning right now? You can say, oh, I 한국말 배워요. You 한국말 배워요? Really? 진짜? 진짜? Oh yeah, 진짜 한국말 배워요. Honestly, I'm studying Korean. I'm learning Korean. Yeah, it's not quite studied, but you can kind of use it the same way. So 배워요. Yeah, 지금 뭐 배워요? Right now 뭐 배워요? Right now what you learn? You say, 지금 한국말 배워요. Right now Korean learn. I right now Korean learn. Okay, let's get down to our past tense. We take our 배워, drop it down here so we can do some work on it. Surgery. Actually, this isn't quite well. It's an additive surgery. 배워, like adding something to its nose. Okay, we got 배워. You guys know the drill. This is getting too easy already. We just add our 쌍시옷, the o. Now we finished our past tense. Cool. And let's add some formality so we're not too rude to the person we're speaking to. And what do we got? 배웠어요. Say, oh, I 한국말 배웠어요. I 한국말 배웠어요. So I learned some Korean back in the day. Really? That's cool. So how much do you know? 몰라요, 몰라요. I don't know. 뭘 배웠어요? What did you learn? 어제 뭐 배웠어요? Yesterday 뭐 배웠어요? Yesterday what 배웠어요? Yesterday what did you learn? There we go. Okay. So, oh, sorry for that. That was probably too loud. I hope that this helps you to really get a grasp on why you start with this initial dictionary form. Again, if you need to find a word in a dictionary, these days computers are kind of smart enough to help you find the words. But even sometimes Naver Dictionary is not that smart. And if you look up 배워요, because you see 배워요 in a book or something like that, or someone sent you that in a message because they're being respectful to you in the way they're speaking, and you try and look it up in a dictionary, and maybe some dictionaries won't, even online dictionaries, they won't help you find it with this form. So you need to know, oh, what is the base form? So you have to know what to subtract to get your base form. Oh, I got to get rid of that o and the yo. And then how do I put it back into the base form? Oh, I add a da. So this is, again, dictionary base form. It's important to know because you take this form and you change it to make basically all other variations. And so the most basic variation that you kind of can start with is going to be our present tense here. So we are doing, that's why we're practicing this present tense. And the benefit of this yo form present tense, it has so many uses. Like, again, you can make a command, hey, do that, or you can make a statement like what you're doing right now. Oh yeah, 한국말 배워요 지금. Like right now, I am studying Korean. Or you can also use it for suggestions. 한국말 같이 배워요. Yeah, let's study Korean together. And then we take this base form, or the base form that's conjugated now, and then we just add a little bit to give us a past tense so we can talk about what happened in the past. And hopefully that's a bit more clear for you now. And we've done some practices. We haven't hit some of the more complicated forms, like, for example, the the verbs and the adjectives can be very similarly conjugated and changed. But for example, spicy is 맵다, and we didn't do any words with this 비읍 on the bottom. And that can be a little bit more complicated. Just to give you a flavor of that now, we can do it more in depth than others. Same thing, get rid of the da, but with that 맵다, so we have, ooh, mep, but we don't say, we should be adding an o, but we don't say 매봐요. In this case, we kick the bucket. The biip is the bucket. We kick the bucket. Goodbye, bucket. So we kick the bucket, and the bucket transforms. Bucket transforms into an ooh. So we have ooh, and then we add the o and the yo for formality. So in this case, it's a little bit special and irregular. So when you're saying, this is spicy, by the way. Oh, spicy, spicy. Oh, 매워, 매워요, 매워요, 매워요. So when you're saying spicy, the original form, the dictionary form, and you also want to know this dictionary form because when sometimes people, when they talk to themselves, they use this dictionary form. They'll say, "Ah, 맵다, 맵다. Oh, 진짜 맵다. Oh, it's so spicy." But then when they talk to you, they will be polite to you, so they will say, "Oh, 매워요, 매워요." So it is good to know this dictionary form because people still use it a little bit when they speak. But to be polite and do normal speak, you need to know how to change it. So this is an irregular change, and we can look at that later. But good work today. Wow. Nice long video, but you learned so much. And yeah, we'll catch you next time. Toodaloo.